Hello, in a Facebook group I'm in, they were recently talking about a caramel sauce recipe that they make, and I make a similar recipe, but without a lot of stirring, so I wanted to make a quick video to show how I do this. In my pan that's stained from elderberry syrup, this is a Lodge, one of the big cast iron pans. I've got 2 cups of unbleached sugar. My heat here is on pretty high, medium high, and I am not going to stir this until it starts to melt. I'm going to pause this for a bit and I'll come back when it starts to melt and show you what it looks like. Okay, I just wanted to check in. It's been 6 minutes since I turned this off, and I'm stirring it a little bit, but only to show that it's not burned in the time that I haven't stirred it. So I'm super amateur at this, and my video turned off, so I'm not sure how I'll splice these together, but it has been 10 minutes since I first started to record, and you can see I'm starting to melt a little bit, but it's okay. You know, it just can sit and melt, and I haven't been stirring it. It doesn't. In fact, when I make this, usually I wouldn't be stirring it at this point yet. I wait until I see, like right around these edges here, very, very clear, and then I start to stir it. I've even found that the less I stir it, the fewer lumps I get in the end. Seems like if I stir it, it just becomes a battle to get rid of lumps, whereas just letting it melt, it's very happy to do that for me. I'm going to try to pause again and not have too many splices in this video. I'll come back and, I would say probably 4 or 5 more minutes it'll be ready to be stirred, and I will add in 1 cup of butter and 1 cup of heavy cream. Okay, I've started giving this a little stir. Still, I'm not going to stir constantly, and still I'm not going to whisk. I will whisk when I add the butter because I haven't found that I can incorporate it quickly enough with a wooden spoon, but my light's poor here. Got a cloudy day. You can kind of see it's kind of lumpy right now. But again, as it continues to heat up, that will all smooth out. Okay, and still maybe every few minutes. It's been about 10 minutes since I started, 9 exactly. And I'm getting this melting happening. So as I stir now, all I'm really trying to do is I've never had a problem with burning. I don't know if it's because of the unbleached sugar or it's the heavy pan, but I just want the sugar at this point to melt evenly. And so the whisking isn't, I've just never found it to be necessary. Well, in fact, I kind of found out by accident when I left the pot and came back to a perfectly melted pot of sugar, and I thought, well, I'm never whisking again. So I will turn it off again and come back in a little bit. It should be ready for the butter in a few more minutes. Okay, I just have a few seconds left of memory on this because I have approximately 1,900 pictures of yarn on my phone, and it takes up all my memory. Okay, so I'll just make a new video if it's going to cut me off. You can see at this point that it is really getting melted. Again, if I hadn't stirred it up to this point, it would still be okay. It's not a big deal if you set the timer for 5 or 10 minutes and walk away and come back. Okay, at this point, come on, focus. At this point, it has been almost 25 minutes. And you can see that almost all the lumps are gone, but I'm just going to wait a little longer till they're pretty much all gone. Okay, so here we are at 27 minutes. I haven't measured temperature, I haven't whisked. It is smooth, and at this point, I'm going to whisk in the butter. Okay, so I've added in, this is 1 cup of Kerrygold, 8 ounces of Kerrygold. My heat is still on. In fact, partway through there I turned it up a little bit It is now about, yeah, closer to high. But as this butter melts, I just want to whisk it in and till it incorporates. That's good enough. And now I'm going to, I would normally do this a little slower, but since I'm doing this one-handed, I'll just dump that all in at once, turn off my heat, whisk it in, and this is the part that's a little dicey because it always throws out some steam. My whisk needs to be just a little bit longer. Okay, so it's caramel sauce. You can put in salt if you want. I think up to a teaspoon of the kind that of the salt that I use, which is real salt. I don't always do that because no salt in my coffee. Sometimes yes, mostly no. But I will just pour this into a quart jar, and I have this delicious treat for my coffee or my ice cream or whatever. So thanks for watching. Thought I'd do a little tag on the end here. The caramel sauce is done. It doesn't look pretty because I already poured some in my coffee. But this is a caramel sauce recipe that normally requires a lot of whisking, and I just don't do it. So you can make the lazy way caramel sauce too.